Welcome back on the D. Williams Show. I'm Tyron Jones. I've got Dr. Danielle Greene with me as our first guest tonight. Danielle, how are you?
Hello, Tyron. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Yeah, as I said before, the guests that I'm going to have on tonight, I've had some experience with them and thought that they were really good at whatever endeavor they were involved in. And Dr. Greene is definitely one of those people. She's a dentist, and she'll give you her contact information and all that good stuff before the segment's over. But, just as a precursor, I am a person who's definitely pain adverse and like many people, probably fearful when it comes to going to the dentist. I look at myself and think I'm a guy that weighs 250 pounds, and I'm not bragging about my physical prowess. What I'm trying to do is say that despite that many times, we still have the fear of going to the dentist's office. But my experience with Dr. Greene is one where it was a very pain-free, uneventful kind of visit to the doctor. And I think that, part of that was that she sort of has the ability, and it may be baked in compassion. You're going to have to tell us if that's the case, but where she actually listens to your request, what it is that you want. And the other thing that really stood out to me was I didn't receive sales pitches and all the things that you should buy this and do that. It was really, here's what you need, and sort of moving in that direction. So it was really a great experience. But so anyway, let's get started. Danielle, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you came from?
Yes. Like Tyron said, I'm Danielle Greene, Dr. Greene. I'm originally from New York, and I moved here about 15 years ago. I'm a University of Maryland graduate. That's actually the first dental school in the world, which I'm very proud of. And I have two locations. One is Fabulous Smiles of Atlanta, and that's located in historic West End. And I have another location called Modern Dental, and that's in Inman Park on Edgewood Avenue.
So can you tell us a little bit about your educational background? I know you were go ahead and let you tell us.
Yes, I went to undergraduate school at Morgan State University, which is in Baltimore, and I also went to graduate school. My degree was in physics. I'm also a Fulbright scholar, and I studied in New Zealand for a year. And then after that, I went to dental school for 4 years. So I was really big on science. I always loved school, and it was a passion of mine to become a dentist since I was 6 years old.
So the interest in math and science, and all, did that start when you were that started when you were young? Or
it started very early in life. I was always wanted to be a dentist, always interested in science, and I just stuck with it all this time, which is pretty unusual. Most people don't know what they want to do. I really found that to be a blessing, that I never had to go back and forth or try to find myself. I want to be a dentist, and that's what I did.
Okay. And so when you were in high school, were there any special classes or anything that you took to prepare you for college and then to try to get you into medical school? Yes,
I took the usual college prep classes, biology, chemistry, algebra 2, and trig, and calculus, and that prepared me for college. Took the SATs, and you have to try to do your best and graduate, towards the top, because dental school and, college for that matter, is highly selective.
So it's getting into dental school. Is it really competitive? Or
it's competitive, and it's actually even more competitive now than when I went. So it's very competitive these days.
And did you know that ahead of time? Is there anyone that sort of coached you or mentored you?
Yes, I had mentors back in college. I sure did. The dean of my school, my professors, they were very encouraging. Like I said, I went to Morgan State, and it was I was one of maybe 3 people that graduated that year with a degree in physics, and I was definitely the only female. So it was, I had help along the way.
So are you in a market that is mostly male dominated, or is it sort of equal?
Dentistry is about 50-50. My class was a 50-50. We have men and women.
And then now you said that you have two offices. What made you decide to have your own offices rather than work for someone else?
Well, when I first graduated, I did work for someone else, and when I became confident, my patients became more confident, and I felt like I can go out on my own. I did that because I wanted to control my own destiny. I wanted to provide care a certain way, loving, compassionate. I really care about my patients, and I want them to have the ultimate experience when they come to me. So I felt at that time, a year after I graduated, and I worked for someone, it was time for me to go out on my own.
So you went out on your own after 1 year?
Yes. I was pretty fearless, yes. Yeah, most people, it takes them a little longer to get out there on their own. But when you're doing a business endeavor, it's time to be brave. You have fears that come with it, and you're a little nervous. And I looked very young at the time, so everybody was like, "Oh, you're a kid. I don't want you working." I'm like, "No, you're in great hands." So,
So you were the Doogie Howser of dentistry, right?
That's what it looked like. Yes.
Okay. So, what really motivated you? Did you have anything from your past, or is there anything that really motivated you to say, okay, I want to be not only a dentist, but I want to be compassionate and caring, and it's not just something where I've entered just for the money that I can make being a dentist?
Yes. Well, when people come to the dentist, a lot of them come with a lot of bad experiences. They've experienced a lot of pain, so we have to work through that and overcome all of that. So, my patients motivate me. They keep me on my toes, and I want them to go out and tell their friends and tell their family that they have had a wonderful experience with Dr. Greene. And so I'm always calm with them, and we have a lot of compassion. Like Tyron said, I don't try to sell a bunch of products, and it's all about the care of your teeth, because the care of your teeth are very important to your overall well-being. And everything starts with the mouth. I mean, that's the opening to the rest of your body. So healthy teeth are very important.
So does it generate other health concerns if I don't take care of my teeth?
Of course. Gum disease leads to heart disease. The same plaques that's building up on your teeth and gums could cause problems with your heart. It also plays an effect in low birth weight in babies. And yes, your oral health care is very important. And actually, when you're getting older, I'm really big. I have a senior outreach program. So it's very important with their nutrition that they maintain good oral health care. And that's really a passion of mine. I go out and I actually do free screenings at senior homes around at the Atlanta area. And I help them get dentures, help them apply for insurances that may pay for their dentures. So that's really my love right there.
Now, what type of dentistry do you practice, or is it all is dentistry? I think people think of dentists, they think of just one thing. What type do you practice?
I'm a general dentist, so I do a lot of most of the procedures: oral surgery, bridges, crowns, root canals. I do a broad range of procedures there, and I also educate my clients and my patients to make sure that they understand that their oral health care is very critical to their overall health.
Okay, so now are you a DDS or a DDM?
I'm a DDS.
Okay, and what's the difference between those two?
It's pretty much the same thing. It's just different schools will use the term DMD, and some schools use DDS, Doctor of Dental Surgery, or Doctor of Medical Dentistry. But they're very similar, not much different.
So tell me, if I'm going to look for a dentist as a consumer, what would you suggest? What should I look for in a dentist? And if I go in, are there any questions that I should ask the dentist? Or
it's always a good idea to be informed about your oral health care needs. You want a dentist that's going to sit with you and take the time to go over the dental procedures that you need, and explain how they're going to get done and the realistic expectations and the outcome of the work that you're going to be getting.
So if I was going to ask you for a mission statement, what would be your mission statement? What's your business philosophy?
My business philosophy and my mission is to provide top oral health care in a very caring, compassionate environment and professional environment.
Okay. And so what is your business process? When I come in, what do I expect? What's going to happen?
You're going to come in and you're going to have a friendly face greet you at the door, and we're going to maybe fill out a form or two and some paperwork, and then you'll get taken. We'll do x-rays. And
now, do I get help with that paperwork, or is that something that I have to?
It's very easy. Okay. It's very easy. You'll be able to do it on your own, but if you need help, we're always there.
So it's not a stack of papers?
No, it's name and address and medical history.
Okay.
It's very important to tell us your medical history. We do use certain drugs or antibiotics or pain medicine that could interfere with certain medical conditions. So we like to be informed of your medical history, and you'll get a complete exam, and we'll go over everything that you need and how it will get done and the phases that it will get done in.
Okay. And if I was going to ask, what would make your business unique? Mm-hmm. What makes you different than if I go in the phone book and there's 1,000 dentists?
Right.
What would make me select you, or why should I select you?
Well, it's not so much the phone book. A lot of my business comes from word of mouth, and my patients, when they come, I make sure my staff is also very trained to make sure that everyone that comes in has a wonderful experience, and we try to get rid of all their fears and apprehensions, and then they'll refer us more people. So what makes me unique is that I'm very knowledgeable in what I do. I'm very good at what I do, and I also give that special touch of gentleness and caring and making you feel good.
And I guess the phone book was a dated reference, right? No one uses the phone book anymore.
Right, nobody's using that.
So what would be one thing that you would warn someone about when it ties to, as we look back to what you do, how you do it? If I call in, or I say, I don't think that I need to go to the dentist. Mm-hmm. Are there any things that I should come in for, like cleaning or any of that sort of stuff? Is there anything that you warn people about, or information that you put out to let people know that at a minimum, this is what you should do?
Yes, I always warn them the importance of staying on top of their dental needs and how avoidance can complicate not just your oral care, but your overall health. I recommend that you come in at least 2 times a year for your exam and x-rays. You may need more than just a regular cleaning, but if you need just a regular cleaning, that gets done at least twice a year. And if you get a cavity and you wait longer than 6 months, it could really go into something major, root canals, and we're trying, or even extractions and loss of teeth. My first concern is to always try to save a tooth. I want you to keep your teeth forever and as long as possible. So it's a partnership. I can't do everything by myself, so we have to work together, where you do proper oral care at home, and we teach all of that. And then, together on a program, we'll hopefully be able to save your teeth.
Now, do you do dental implants or any of that stuff, or is that included in dental dentistry?
Yes, we do dental implants. That's a great way to restore a missing tooth. It's an artificial root that's placed into the bone, and it's a great procedure, not very painful, and it functions and acts like a regular tooth, pretty much.
So does it bring their smile back to their normal smile, or can you actually tell that the implants are there?
No, usually you can't tell when someone has an implant. It just depends on, there's different types of implants, and then implant retained dentures. But most of the time, if it's just a single implant, you cannot tell that it's an implant. if it's placed correctly. Another great thing that I'm doing is something called fast braces, and it's this great technology where the braces, orthodontic treatment takes about 3 months to a year instead of a typical 3-year process. So I'm really excited about the fast braces as well.
Okay. So I would be remiss if I left out the root canal, because I think that's the thing that we all hear about that we're all afraid of. So can you tell me exactly what that is and why it? I guess it's very painful, or what the issue is with that.
Well, a root canal may need to be done if you let a cavity go too long, the decay eventually will spread to the nerve of the tooth, and the nerve becomes infected. Okay. At that point, to keep the tooth, you would have to remove the nerve out of the tooth and then get a crown put on it. So one used to hear probably a lot of horror stories about root canals, but the technology is so advanced these days that root canals are very routine and pretty uneventful most of the time. So
there's a lot of things that people are fearful of when they think about coming to the dentist that they probably should not be anymore. Yes. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of great new technology. Dentistry is an area that's always on the cutting edge, and we always strive to find a way to do something better and more efficiently and looks better. I do a lot of cosmetic dentistry, veneers, help restore smiles. We do dentures and crowns and bridges. Yes. So
the clients that come to you, or do they generally all have insurance, or is there any way for them to pay for it if they have limited funds? What does that person do?
Yes, we definitely take insurance. We take like 20 different plans, so we take a lot of them. We also take we do have plenty of cash paying patients, and we do set them up on payment plans. We have something called Care Credit, which will allow you to spread your dental payments out over a period of time, maybe a year or two. And we try to work with you as much as possible on payment and payment arrangements.
Okay. So let's get your information out there so everyone knows where to find you, if it's social media or internet, and phone number.
Okay, I'm Danielle Greene, Dr. Greene. One office is Fabulous Smiles of Atlanta. The number is 404-758-0770. And I have another office, Modern Dental, and the number there is 404-589-0900.
Can they find you on the web?
Yes, I am on the web. Just Google Dr. Danielle Greene, and those offices will pop up.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, Dr. Greene, thank you very much for sitting with us today, and we will see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.